Hi everyone, in this video we are going to solve O-Levels Additional Mathematics Paper 1 in a session May-June 2021 Paper 1-4. So let's begin with the first question. In question 1a part, on the axis below, sketch the graph of this function for axis between 0 degree to 360 degree. Okay, so this is a sinusoidal function. We can graph the sinusoidal function by using two methods. So let me use a separate sheet of paper for this. So the first method to graph a sinusoidal function is by using transformations. Okay, so we have given the cosine function. As you can see, we have cos 2x. So we have a cosine function. First, we need to write down the standard form of the cosine function in terms of transformation. That is y equals to a cos k into x minus d and then plus c. Okay, so this is a transformed equation of the cosine function, and in using transformation method, we can transform the xy coordinates to x over k plus d and ay plus c. Okay, so now let me compare my given equation with the transformed equation. So we have given y equals to 6 cos 2x minus 0 minus 1. Right? I can write down this in terms of this. So now my a is 6, k value is 2, d value is 0, and c value is minus 1. Just substitute into this formula. So the xy coordinates changes to x over k is 2, and d value is 0. And a is 6, y, and c is minus 1. So x changes to x by 2 and the y coordinate changes to 6y minus 1. Okay, now we need to draw the table of values for this. We can fix for xy and for the new coordinates. Let me make a table. We have for x values, y values, the new transformed x values, and the y values. Okay. Okay, so here we are going to use x, y, and the x changes to x by 2 and y changes to 6y minus 1. Right, so we need to fix some x values. So if I can start with 0 degree, let me draw the lines as well. This is for 0, for 90 degree. Let me use then 180, adding 90 each time, and then 270, and then 360, and then 450, and then adding 90 would be 540, and 630. Let me stop at 720. It's enough now. Yes. Okay, so if I can take x values like 0 degree, and then 90, and then 180, and then 270, I'm just adding 90 each time, and then 360 plus 90 would be 450, 450 plus 90 would be 540, 540 plus 90 would be 630, and 630 plus 90 is 720. Okay, now we need to find the value for the cosine function. The first x and y column is for the base function. The base function we have is just y equals to cos x. Right, so just substitute x is equals to 0. We have cos 0, this is 1. Now cos 90, we have 0. Cos 180, minus 1. Cos 270, 0. Cos 360, 1. Cos 450, 0. cos 540 minus 1, cos 630 0, and cos 720 is 1. Okay, so the first two columns are for the base function, the parent function y equals to cos x. Okay, now what we need to do in the next one, we need to just divide the x values by 2. So 0 by 2 is 0, sorry. 90 divides 2 is 45. 180 divides 2 is 90 degree. And 270 divides 2 is 135 degrees. And the next is 360. 360 divides 2 is obviously 180. 450 divides 2 is 225. And 540 divides 2 is 270. 630 divides 2 is 315. And 720 divides 2 is 360. And our domain is given from 0 to 360, right? Okay, now what we do with y, we need to multiply the y with 6 and subtracting 1, right? So the first we have 6 times 1 is 6 and minus 1 is 5. 6 times 0 is 0, we have just minus 1. Minus 6, 6 times minus 1 is minus 6, minus 1, minus 7. And for 0 we have minus 1. At 1 we have 5. Again for 0 we have minus 1. For minus 1 we have minus 7. And for 0 we have negative 1. And for 1 we have 5. Now we have to plot these two values onto the grid. These are the x values and these are the y values, right? So as you can see, the y values are positive and negative, and the maximum is till negative 7 and positive 5. So if I can say the middle point is 4, 0, 4, 8 and 0, minus 4, 8, right? And on x we have 45, 90, 135, 180. So in the middle we have just select from 0 to 90, we have 45. This middle is 135. This is between 180 and 270, we have 225. And then 270 and 360 is 315, sorry. Okay, so now we have all the values. And okay, so the first point for 0 degree we have the value 5. For 0 we have just value 5. Let's say 5 is over here. For 45 we have negative 1. For 45 we have negative 1 down. And then for 90 we have minus 7. For 90 minus 7, let me use a scale. This is 90. And let's say minus 7 is a little bit above from minus 8 over here. Yes, right. And the next point 135, it's minus 1 again. For 135 it's negative 1, this point. And for 180 it's 5. For 180 it is 5 above. This point is 5, right? The next is 225. We have minus 1. For 225 again minus 1. And then for 270 it is negative 7. For 270 it is negative 7. 315 minus 1. 315 we have minus 1. And for 360 it is the maximum point 5. Okay, now let me join all the points to get the smooth curve. And make sure your curve passes through each and every point. So this is a graph of that sinusoidal function. Yes, so that's the curve for the given sinusoidal function. Now this is the first method to graph this function. Let me show you by a second method. So the second method to graph this function is by using properties. Okay, now what are the properties? Let me write down the given equation one more time. So it is y equals to 6 cos 2 into x minus 0 minus 1. Okay, so if I can compare it with the standard form, that is y equals to a cos k into x minus d plus c. Now a is 6, k is 2, d is 0, c is minus 1, right? Like we did in the first method. Okay, so the first thing we need is the amplitude. So what is the amplitude? Amplitude is basically the absolute value of a, right? So what is the absolute value of a? So the a value is 6, so the absolute of a is equals to 6. So the amplitude is 6, right? The second thing we need is the equation of x's. Equation of x's. And what is equation of x's? Equation of x's is basically the c value, and the c value in this case is -1. Now we have the amplitude, we have the equation of x's. We can find the maximum point of this curve and the minimum point of this curve. So the maximum is basically equals to the equation of x's plus amplitude, right? And the minimum point we will get by using the formula equation of x is minus amplitude, right? Okay, so equation of x is -1 plus amplitude is 6, that is 5. So the maximum value of this curve is 5, and we have equation of x is -1, amplitude is 6, so -6, that is equals to -7. The minimum value is -7. So as we see in from the first that the maximum value is 5 and the minimum value we have is -7, right? Okay, now the fifth thing we need for this method is the phase shift. So phase shift is basically the starting point of the curve. This is basically the d value. So in this case, the d value is 0, so it must start from 0. So here from 0, the curve starts from 0, right? Okay, so the next we need is the period. So period is basically one complete cycle, and we need, how can we find the period? By using the formula 360 divides k, right? So what is the k value? K value we have is 2, so we can do 360 divides 2, which is equals to 180 degree. So 180 degree is the one complete cycle, that is from one maximum to another maximum. So let's see, this is the one complete cycle from one maximum to another maximum, and this is equals to 180. So one complete cycle is a period, and it's this the period for this equation is 180. Okay, now the next thing is distance between points. For distance between points, we need to use the formula period divides 4. So what's the period? We got period is 180. 180 degree divided by 4. So this is 180 divides 4 is 45 degree. So the distance between the x values are 45 degree. Okay, now the last thing, we need to find out the coordinates, x coordinates. Okay, now the x coordinate starts from the phase shift. As we know, the d value is 0, so it's the first x value is 0 degree, and then in 0 we need to add this distance between point, that is 45 degree. This would be 45, and in this 45 again we are adding this, every time we're adding distance between points, that is 45. So 45 plus 45 is 90. Then adding in 90, adding 45, we will get the next one. This will be 135, right? So in 135, adding 45 is equals to 180. In 180, if we add 45 again, we will get 225. In 225, adding 45, we have 270. And 270 plus 45, we have 315, and 315 adding 45 is 360. So we have to stop at 360 because our domain is given at till 360, right? So these are all the x values. Okay, so as you can see from the first method, we got the same x values. We have 0, 45, 90, 135, 180, 225, 270, 315 and 360, right? Okay, so by using this method, how can we find the y values, right? So keep in mind, we have given the cosine curve, right? Cos of theta, let's say. So how can we draw the graph for this cosine function? So one thing keep in mind, the cosine graph always starts from the maximum point, whatever the maximum point. Let's say this is a maximum point and this is the minimum point, right? Now I'm telling you for the y coordinates. So for the y coordinate, the cosine starts from the maximum, then it goes to this is the equation of x's, and then it goes to the minimum point, and then equation of x's, and then its maximum. So it complete the one complete cycle, right? So means at 0 the cosine must be at maximum, right? So what is the maximum? Maximum is 5. So let's see. So at 0 it is at maximum point 5, right? So at 45, so it must be at equation of x's, and equation of x's is -1. So at 45 it must be at x y equals to -1. Next point is 90. At 90 it must be at minimum point, and the minimum point of this curve is -7. At 90 it is at -7, right? Okay, so at 135 it is again on equation of x's, that is equals to -1. So at 135 it is at -1, y equals to -1 is equation of x's, and at 180 it is at again the maximum, and the maximum we have is +5. So as you can see, at 180 it is at +5. So this way it complete the 2 cycles, right? So these are the 2 ways to graph the sinusoidal function. I hope you understand it. So let's move to the second question. The B part of this question, the graph of y equals to a plus b sine theta, sine c theta, for theta is between -180 to +180 is shown below. Okay, write down the values of each of the constants a, b and c. Okay, so that's pretty easy. We need to use the same concept we did in the first part. First, we need to write down the standard form. In the first part, we did for the cosine. Now we have a sine. So y equals to a sine k x minus d plus c. So this is the transformed form of the sine function, right? Now let me write down the given one, what we have given. So we have given this. So we have given y equals to b sine bracket c theta -0 and plus a. So this form we have given, right? Okay, now we need to find this b is representing the amplitude, right? This c is representing the k value, and this is 0, phase shift is 0, and this a is representing the equation of x's, right? Okay, so first we need to find the b value. What is the b value? B value is the amplitude, right? So if we have given the curve, how can we find the amplitude and the equation of x's? So this b is the amplitude and a is the equation of x's. Okay, so for amplitude and equation of x's, first we need to find the maximum and the minimum point of this curve. So what is the maximum point of this curve? That is +4, and the minimum point of this curve is -4, right? So now we know the max and the min. We can easily find the amplitude and equation of x's by using the formula. So for amplitude is equals to max minus min divides 2. So this is a formula for amplitude, right? And for equation of x's, max plus min divides 2, right? So we know maximum is +4, minimum is -4. So we have -4 and then dividing by 2. So this is equals to 4 plus 4 divides 2. This is equals to 8 divides 2. And this would be equals to 4, right? And we have maximum is 4 plus minimum is -4 and dividing by 2. So 4 minus 4 is 0, dividing by 2, this is equals to 0, right? So it means the amplitude for this equation is +4 and the equation of x's is 0, right? Okay, so what amplitude and equation of x is representing? So amplitude is the a value, and in our case the b value is the amplitude, so we can say 4 is the amplitude, right? And here the equation of x's is the a value in our case, so this is equals to equation of x's is 0, right? Now we need to find the c value, which is basically the k. And how can you find the k? Like I explained you in the a part, k we can find by using the period, right? So we can get the k value by using the formula that k is basically equals to 360 degree divides period. Okay, now how can you find out the period? So keep in mind that period is one complete cycle. And what do I mean by one complete cycle? So one complete cycle is basically from one maximum to another maximum, from one minimum to another minimum, or from one equation of x's to another equation of x's. Like you can see, this is the one complete cycle. This is a period, right? So now how can we find? As you can see, its starting point is minus 180 and the ending point is 180. So how can you find out the period? Okay, so to find out the period, we need to pick the starting point, that is minus 180, and the ending point, and we can subtract it. Ending minus starting, we will get the period, right? So if I can write down the formula for the period here, I have a little space. So period we can find if we have given the curve by using the formula that end minus start. End minus start means the ending point, that is 180, minus the starting point, that is minus 180. So this is 180 plus 180, this is equals to 360 degree. Okay, so we got the period for this curve is 360. So when the period is 360, how can we find the k value? Just substitute the period over here. So we will get the k by doing 360 over 360, because period is also 360. So we got the k value is 1, right? And in this case, what is the k value? So the variable, as you can see, the variable c is representing the k value. So c value in this case is 1. Right? So this is a way to find the graph, the equation of a sinusoidal function if we have given the curve. Okay, moving to the next question, number 2. In a part, on the axis below, sketch the graph of this function and this function, giving the coordinates of the point where the graph meets the axis. Okay, so in order to graph these functions, first we need to ignore the modulus, right? So we can use y equals to x minus 3 and y equals to 2 by 5x, just these two functions. So if I can ignore the modulus, we have the first y equals to x minus 3. Let me find out the x-intercept by putting y equals to 0. So when we put y equals to 0, here the x value would be equals to positive 3. And to find the x-intercept, we need to put, to find the y-intercept, we need to put x is equals to 0. And from here, the y value is equals to negative 3. Right. So let me plot the x and the y-intercept for the first one. Right. So x-intercept is 3. So we have 6. If let me say in the middle of 0 and 6, we have, let's say here we have 3. We have 3, and downward we have negative 3. Yes, and here we have positive 3. Right. Okay, so the x-intercept for the first one is 3 and the y-intercept is minus 3, right? So let me connect 3 is the x-intercept and minus 3 is the y-intercept, right? So if I can connect these two lines, right? But we know that for the modulus function, for the graph of the modulus function, y never be negative because it is the absolute value. So what we need to take, we need to take the absolute of, we need to do the reflection for this line, right? So basically for our graph, so we need to use just the line till this point, right? And then for this line, we need to do its reflection. So for minus 3, this would be positive 3. So this would be our y-intercept. So here is the graph for the first one. This is a graph for y equals to absolute of x minus 3. Right. Now on the same steps we need to do for the second one by ignoring the modulus, finding the x and the y intercepts. So for the second one we have y equals to 2 by 5x. Right. So if the x-intercepts and the y-intercepts are same, when we put x equals to 0, y is 0, when y equals to 0, x equals to 0, at x equals to 0, y values equals to 0. So we just got one point, that is 0, 0. Right. How can we find the second point? Okay, if I can select the second point, let's say x equals to 5. If I put x equals to 5, so 5 and 5 are cancelled, so y value is 2. We got y equals to 2. So 5, 2, we can take this point. X equals to 5. Let's say this is 5 and the y value is 2. Let's say this point is 2. Okay. So 5 and 2. This point. I think so. This point. Right. So now I have to connect these 2 points. This is for the first part of this absolute value function, and for the second, if it is 5, 2, then on the other side it is minus 5, 2. Minus 5 and 2. So for minus 5, 2, this point. So this blue one is the graph for y equals to absolute of 2 by 5x. Okay. So they said on the axis below, sketch the graph of these two modulus function and giving the coordinates of the point where the graph meets the axis. So at what point the graph meets the axis? The graph meets the axis at this point and at this point. So and on these 2 points the graph meets the axis. Right. So these two are basically the points of intersection for the 2 modulus functions. Okay, now for the B part of this question, solve the equations. We have the 2 modulus equations. So how can we solve it? If we remove the modulus sign, we have plus minus 2 by 5x, and here we have plus minus x minus 3. Right. So in order to solve the modulus equations, we need to take the square on both sides. So we can say squaring on both sides. In order to get rid of this plus minus, right, we need to do the square. So this is 4 by 25 and x square, and this is square x square plus 9 minus 6x. Okay, so we have 4 by 25 x square minus x square plus 6x minus 9 equals to 0. So what is 4 by 25 and minus 1? Minus 0.84 minus 0.84 x square plus 6x minus 9 equals to 0. Now we have a quadratic equation. We can solve it by using a quadratic formula. So let me apply the quadratic formula here. So we have x is equals to negative of b value is 6, plus minus square root b square, 6 square is 36, minus 4ac. So minus 4 times a value is minus 0.84 times the c value is minus 9. So this is equals to minus 30.24. And this is going to divide with 2 times of a, that is 2 times minus 0.84 minus 1.68. Right. So first we need to solve the terms inside the square root. 36 subtract 30.24. So this is 5.76. So here x is equals to minus 6 plus minus square root 5.76 divides minus 1.68. Now we have two x values. So let me solve it one by one with the positive square root and the negative square root. Negative 6 plus square root 5.76 divides minus 1.68. So this is 2.14. The x value is 2.14. and the other x value is minus 6 and minus square root of 5.76 divides minus 1.68. This is equals to 5. So the two x values are 5 and 2.14. Question number 3 in A part, find the first three terms in the expansion in the ascending power of x of this where a is a constant. So ascending power, it is basically the increasing powers of x, means x power 0, x power 1, x power 2, and then so on. So we need to just find the first three, means x power 0, 1, and 2, right? Okay, so let me do the expansion, binomial expansion. A minus 3 x exponent is 10. So first we have a exponent 10 plus 10c1 a exponent 9, and the second term minus 3x exponent 1. And for the third term we have 10c2 a exponent would be 8 and minus 3x exponent would be 2, and then so on. We need to stop because we just need to find for first three, right? So we have a's power 10. What is 10c1? 10c1 is 10, and this would be minus 3. So 10 times minus 3 is, let me do it, this 10, this is a power 9, this is minus 3x, right? And then 10c2 is 45, plus we have 45 a power 8, 3 square is 9, and x square. Okay, so the first three terms we have a power 10, right? And then 3 times 10 is 30, so it's minus 30, a power 9 x, and 45 times 9 is 405, 405 a power 8 and x square. So these are the first three terms in the expansion of this in the ascending powers of x. Now for the b part, given that a is positive, keep in mind a is positive, and that the first three terms found in part A can also be written as this. Find the values of each of the constant a, p, and q. Okay, so let me write down these terms in this form, right? So it means the constant is this, the x terms are this, and the y x square terms are this. Okay, so if I can compare the coefficients, okay, so if I compare the constant terms, like, or we can say x exponent 0 terms. What are the x exponent 0 term? From here we have p and here we have a power 10. So it means the p value is basically equals to a exponent 10, right? Now comparing the x exponents, coefficients, right? So here the x coefficient is q, and here the x coefficient is minus 30 a power 9. Right. Now let me compare the x square coefficients. For x square coefficients, we have, here we have 405 over 256 x square, and here we have 405 a power 8 x square, right? So now from this third equation, we can easily find the value for a. So 405, we can cancel 405. So it means how can we find the a value? So basically from here, a power 8 is basically 1 over 256, right? And to find the value for a, we need to do 1 over 256 root 1 by 8, root 8 basically. Okay, so if I can find root 8 of 256, we have 2, right? So a value is 1 by 2, right? So when the a is 1 by 2, what is p? So from here the p is 2 power 10, sorry, 1 by 2 power 10. So it is 1 over, what is 2 power 10? 2 power 10 is 1024. This is the value for p. And from here we will get q. Q will be minus 30 times a power 9. Okay, So 2 power 9, because 1 power 9 is 1, and then minus 30 divides answer. Sorry, 2 power 9, right? And minus 30 divided by answer is, this is minus 15 over 256, right? So let me write down all the answers. So we can say A is 1 by 2, P is 1 by 1024, and Q is minus 15 over 256. So these are the three values. Question number 4, in A part, we need to find the derivative for this function. So for the derivative, we need to use a power rule in this case, and the power rule of differentiation is, if we have a derivative of x power n, we need to first write down the power and then the x, the base, power minus 1, and we need to find the derivative of the base. So the base is x. Now in this case, how can we find the derivative? First we need to write down the power, that is 5 by 2, and then the base, that is 2x plus 1 is the base, and the power minus 1. So 5 by 2 minus 1, and at the end we need to do the derivative of the base function, that is 2x plus 1. Right, so this is 5 by 2, and what is 5 by 2 minus 1? 5 by 2 minus 1 is 3 by 2. So 2x plus 1 power is 3 by 2, and the derivative for 2x is 2, and the derivative of constant is 0. So it is just 2. So we can cancel the 2, and we are just left with 5. 2x plus 1 power is 3 by 2. Right, so that's the answer for the differentiation. Now for the B part, hence find the integration for this function. So again we need to use the power rule, but for integration. So the power rule in integration is x power n dx is basically equals to x power n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus some constant. In differentiation we are not using constants, but in integration we are using the constants. Okay. So before doing this power rule, we need to complete the derivative of this function 2x plus 1. Its derivative is 2. So we need to multiply and divide by 2 to complete its derivative. And then we need to apply the power rule. Now its derivative is multiplying with this function, that is 2. So we have 1 by 2 is outside. So this is 2x plus 1, power is n plus 1, 3 by 2 plus 1 over 3 by 2 plus 1. And then plus c. So 3 by 2 plus 1 is 5 by 2. So we have 1 by 2 times 2 by 5. 2x plus 1 power is 5 by 2 plus some constant. We can cancel the 2. And in simplified form, we have 1 by 5. 2x plus 1 power is 5 by 2 plus c. Now in part C, the diagram shows the graph of a curve y equals to 2x plus 1 exponent 3 by 2 for x is greater than equals to 0. The shaded region enclosed by the curve, the axis and the line x equals to a is equals to 48.4 square units. So shaded area is basically the area under the curve, under this curve, right? Find the value of a showing all your working. Okay, so by using this given information, we have given area under the curve, is 48.4 square units. So what is area under the curve in terms of integration? The area under the curve is basically the integral from 0 to a, and 2x plus 1 3 by 2 dx. This is given to us, that is 48.4. Right, so we need to do the integration and finding the value of a. Right, okay, so again the same integral that we did in the previous case in the B part, as you can see. So we have the same integral, that is 2x plus 1 power 3 by 2. Here we have 2x plus 1 power 3 by 2. So we got this answer, 1 by 5 2x plus 1 power 5 by 2 plus c. So we can use this one, that is this this is equals to 1 by 5, 2x plus 1 power is 5 by 2 plus c, and we have to use no, there is no plus c because we have a definite integral. We have given the upper and the lower limit, so we are not using the constant. When we have indefinite integrals, then we are using the constants, right? So we need to put the upper and the lower limit. So it is 1 by 5 2a plus 1 power 5 by 2, this is the upper limit, minus lower limit is 1 by 5, 2 times 0 is 0, 0 plus 1 power 5 by 2, this is equals to 48.4, right? Let me simplify it further to get the value for a. So we have, if I can take 1 by 5 outside, we have 2a plus 1 power is 5 by 2, and this 1 by 5 is outside, and the 0 plus 1 is just 1, and 1 power anything is 1, so it is just minus 1, and this is 48.4, right? Now we can multiply 5 on the other side, so it would be 2a plus 1 power 5 by 2 minus 1 is equals to 5 times 48.4, right? So 48.4 times 5 is 242. 242, and in the next step we have 2a plus 1 power 5 by 2, and then shifting 1 on the other side, 242 plus 1 is 243, right? Okay, now we need to get rid of this exponent, that is 5 by 2, by doing 2a plus 1 power 5 by 2, taking the power 2 by 5 on both sides. This is 243 power 2 by 5, right? So here we can cancel 2 with 2, 5 with 5. On left side we are just left with 2a plus 1, and on the, so 243 is basically 3 power 5. So let me check, 3 power 5 is 243, yes. So 3 power 5 and its power 2 by 5, we can cancel the 5, we are just left with 3 square, that is equals to 9. Now 2a is equals to 9 minus 1, that is 8, and a would be equals to 8 by 2, this is equals to 4. So the value of a is equals to 4. Question number 5, in A part, a 5-digit number is to be formed from the digits 2, 5, 6, 7, and 9. Each digit may only be used once. So it means it is a permutation question. And in permutation, order matters. We are not allowed to repeat the digits. Now in the first part, find the number of different 5-digit numbers that can be formed without any restriction. So we have just formed the 5-digit numbers. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 5-digit number. How many digits we can use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can use 5 digits. So for the first digit, we have 5 options. Let's say I used 2. Right, now we are left with 5, 6, 7, and 9. We are left with 4 more, right? If I can use 5, now we are left with 3 more. If I use 6, we are left with 7 and 9, 2 digits. And if I use 7, we are just left with 9. So the option for the last digit is just 1. So we can multiply all of them and we will get how many we can make. Okay. So we have 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, that is 120. So we can only make 120 different 5-digit numbers. Now for the second part, find the percentage of these numbers that are odd. So for percentage, we need to find how many are odd. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 5-digit number, and a number, a number is odd when it ends at odd number, right? So how many are odd number in this case? 2 is even, 5 is odd, 6 is even, 7 is odd, and 9 is odd. So we have 3 digits are odd, right? So for the last digit, we have 3 options, because for the odd number must ends at odd digit, right? It can be 5, it can be 7, it can be 9. Let me take 9, right? How many we are left? 1, 2, 3, 4. So for first digit, we have 4 options, then we have 3, then we have 2, and then we have 1 option. So we need to multiply them and we can check how many we can make odd. So 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 times 3, we can make 72 digits, numbers that are odd. Okay, 72 are odd, and now we need to find the percentage of these numbers that are odd. So for percentage, we can say how many are odd. 72 dividing by the total, that is 120, and multiplying by 100, because we are dealing with the percentage. So this is 72 divides 120 times 100, this is 60%. 60% of these numbers are odd. Now for the B part, 12 people are placed at random in 3 groups of 4 people each. Find the number of ways that this can be done. Okay, so the total people are 12 and they are going to place in a group of 3 and 4 people each, group of 3. So if we have 12, we use out of 4, and then we if we use 12 from out of 4, we are left with 8, and then we use 8 out of 4, and then we are left with 4, and we are using 4 out of 4. So here we make for 4, in each group we are using 4, and then we need to divide it by 3 factorial. Why we are dividing by 3 factorial? Because we need to it's for 3 group, we need to make a 3 group and dividing by 3 factorial, and in the 3 group 4 people each, right? So let me solve this. 12C4 is 495, and then 8C4 is 70, and then 4C4 is 1, yes. And then dividing by 3 factorial is 3 times 2 times 1, that is equals to 6, right? So we have 495 times 70, and then dividing by 6, so the answer is 5,775 different number of ways we can make. Question number 6 in A part, solve the simultaneous equations. So we have given the 2 equations. So first, let me rewrite the first equation. We have log base a x plus y equals to 0. How can we write it as, if I can say log base a x plus y equals to 0, I can say x plus y can be equals to a power 0, and from here x plus y is equals to 1, because anything power 0 is equals to 1, right? So this is my first equation. Let me name it equation 1. Okay, now by using the second equation, we have log base a x plus 1 is log base a y square, right? So we have log base a on both sides, we can cancel, and here we have x plus 1 is equals to y square. This is my second equation. Now we can solve these 2 equations to get the values for x and y. Okay, from the first equation, if I can say x equals to 1 minus y, and I can substitute into my second equation, I will get x is 1 minus y plus 1, this is equals to y square, and 0 is equals to y square plus y and minus 2. So we have a quadratic equation. We can solve the y value by using a quadratic formula. So we have y is equals to negative b value is 1, so minus 1, plus minus square root b square, 1 square is 1, minus 4ac. So minus 4 times a value is 1 and c value is minus 2. So it's negative 6. No, sorry, minus 4 times 1 times minus 2. It's 8, sorry. So it's positive 8, and then divides, we have 2 times a, that is just 2. So 8 plus 1 is 9, and square root of 9 is 3. So we have minus 1 plus minus 3 divides 2. Now we have two xy values. Minus 1 plus 3 divides 2, y equals to 1. And the second is minus 1 minus 3 divides 2. So y equals to negative 2. We are just taking the positive y value. Why? Because when we substitute the y equals to negative 2 in this equation, because we know that when we got the solution, that solution must satisfy the given system. So when we put y equals to 1, log of 1 is 0, that is okay. But when we put log of negative number, log a minus 2, and log of negative number is undefined, you can say log negative 2 is infinity. So it is undefined. So we are not using this minus 2. We are just using y equals to 1, just this value. Okay, now substitute the y value into x to get the x as well. So from here x is equals to 1 minus y is 1, so this is equals to 0. So we can say that x value is 0 and y value is 1. So this is a solution for the given equation. Moving to the b part, given that log pq square times log q p cube is a. Find the value of a constant a. Okay, so let me re-simplify this by taking, if I can just take the left hand side, and we will get the value for a. A must be a constant. So we have log p q square times log q p cube, right? So I can write as 2 log p q times 3 log q p, right? I just shifted the power before the log. Okay, now here we can use a change of base formula. So 2 log p q times 3 log p over log q, and the base is p, right? So log p is just 1, and so this log p is 1. This log pq we can cancel, and we are just left with 2 times 3, that is equals to 2 times 3 is 6, and this 6 is the a value, and which is a constant, right? Question number 7. A curve is such that its second derivative is this. The curve has a gradient 6 at a point this. Find the equation of curve. Okay, now we have given the second derivative of y. We need to find the value of y, and that is the equation of the curve. So how can we find the y value? So we need to do integration twice. So integration of d2y over dx square with respect to dx, and here integration 8 is outside, sine 2x dx. Okay, so the formula for integration of sine theta d theta is equals to minus cos theta, and the integration of cos theta d theta is sine theta plus some constant as well, right? Okay, so here we have dy over dx, and 8 is outside. The integration of sine is minus cos, so we have minus cos 2x over 2, because its 2x derivative is 2, and then plus some constant, because in integration we use constant if we have indefinite integral. Okay, now we can find the value of constant by using this condition that the gradient is 6 at this point, right? So now using the value of gradient, that is equals to 6, and the point x is pi by 2. So 8 minus 8 divides 2. Cos 2 times pi by 2 plus some constant, right? So we have 2 and 2 are cancelled. What is cos pi? So cos 180 is minus 1, and this minus times minus is plus. So we have 6 equals to 4 plus c, and from here the c value is 6 minus 4, that is equals to 2. So we got the C value. Just substitute the C value back into the first derivative. So we have dy over dx is equals to minus 4, because 2 times 4 is 8, cos 2x plus 2. Right. Now we need to integrate it one more time to get the equation for the curve. So applying integration, dy over dx with respect to dx, and minus 4 is outside, integration of cos 2x dx, and plus 2 is outside, integration of 1 dx. We have y over here, we have minus 4, cos integration is sine, it is just sine 2x over 2 plus 2x plus some constant like c star. I can say constant this time. We can find this value of constant by using the given condition, but first let me rewrite it into the simplest form. 2 times 2 is 4, so 2 sine 2x plus 2x plus c star. Okay, we can find the c star by using the condition that a point is pi by 2 and 4 pi. So y is 4 pi and x is pi by 2. So when the y is 4 pi, we have minus 2 sine 2 x is pi by 2 plus 2 pi by 2 plus c star. 2 is cancelled with 2, 2 is cancelled with 2, and sine 180 is 0, sine pi is 0, sine 180 is 0. So this term is 0 and we're just left with pi, and from here we can get c by 4 pi minus pi. This is 3 pi. This is a value for c star. Right. Now the equation of curve is y equals to minus 2 sine 2x plus 2x plus 3 pi. That is the equation of the curve. Question number 8. A polynomial p of x is this, where a and b are integers. It is given that 2x plus 1 is a factor of p of x. Okay, so if 2x plus 1 is a factor, it means 2x plus 1 equals to 0 and x value is minus 1 by 2. So if x equals to minus 1 by 2 is a factor of this polynomial, it means when we put p of minus 1 by 2, this must be equals to 0, and that when p of x is divided by x minus 3, there is a remainder of 175. It means when we put p of 3, we will get 175, right? In a part, find the values of a and of b. By using these two information, we can find the values of a and b. So first, if I can say p of minus 1 by 2 is equals to 0. So just substitute x equals to minus 1 by 2. So a, we have minus 1 by 2 whole cube, plus b, we have minus 1 by 2 square, plus 7 times minus 1 by 2 plus 1 equals to 0, right? So this is minus a over 8 plus b by 4 and minus 7 by 2 plus 1 equals to 0, right? So we have minus 7 divides 2 plus 1. This is minus 5 by 2. So minus a by 8 plus b by 4 equals to 5 by 2. Okay. So if I can divide, if I can take the LCM 8 on this side, so minus a plus 4 times 2 is 8, 2b divides 8 equals to 5 by 2. So multiplying by 8, so minus a plus 2b, this is equals to 5 times 8 divides 2, that is 20. So this is my first equation 1. Right. Now the second one is p of 3 is 175. So if I can say p of 3 is 175, so just substitute x equals to 3. So a 3 cube plus b 3 square plus 7 times 3 plus 1 is 175. So a cube is 27, 3 cube is 27a, plus 9b, and 7 times 3 is 21, plus 1 is 22, 175 minus 22 is 153. This is my second equation. Okay, now we have two equation 1 and equation number 2. So if I can say from equation 1, if I solve for a, so we can say 2b minus 20 equals to a, shifting 20 here and a on the other side. So just substitute that a over here. So we have 27 times a value is 2b minus 20 plus 9b equals to 153. Okay, so 27 times 2 is 54b. 27 times 20 is minus 540 plus 9b is 153. 54b plus 9b is 63b, and this is equals to 153, and this become positive 540. 693, and then dividing by 63, so the b value is 11. Okay, so the b is 11, just substituting the b over here. So a will be 2 times of 11 minus 20. 2 times 11 is 22, and then minus 20 is just 2. So the a value is 2. So the value of a is 2 and the b value is 11. Now for the b part, using your values of a and b from part a, find the remainder of the p prime of x, the derivative of the p, when divided by x minus 1. Okay, so first we need to write p of x by using the values of a and b. So we have 2x cube plus 11x square plus 7x plus 1. This is a polynomial. Now we need to take its derivative, finding the p prime of x. So p prime of x will be 2 is here we have 3x square plus 11, its derivative is 2x, plus 7, its derivative is 1, and the constant derivative is 0. So 2 times 3 is 6x square plus 11 times 2 is 22x plus 7. So this is a derivative of the polynomial. Now we need to find out the remainder when p prime of x is divided by x minus 1. So here we are going to use a method of polynomial division. Polynomial division method. Right. So in polynomial division method, we have outside we have x minus 1, and inside 6x square plus 22x plus 7. Okay. So x minus 1 is going to divide with 6x first to get 6x square minus 6x. Right. And then we need to subtract, changing the signs. Positive changes to negative and negative changes to positive, and we can see this plus minus 6x square is cancelled. 22 plus 6 is 28. 28x plus 7. Right. So x minus 1 is going to multiply with 28 to get 28x, and 28 times minus 1 is minus 28. Right. Again we need to subtract. This positive changes to negative and negative changes to positive, and then positive 28x and negative 28x is 0, and we have 7 plus 28 is 35. So the remainder when x minus 1 is dividing by p prime of x is 35. So we can say remainder is equals to 35. Or you can check the remainder by substituting the value x minus 1, so it is x equals to 1. So taking p prime of 1, so this would be 6 times 1 square plus 22 times 1 plus 7. So this is equals to 6 plus 22 plus 7. So 6 plus 22 plus 7 is 35. So we got the same by using the remainder theorem as well. Question number 9. In this question, all lengths are in centimeters. Do not use a calculator in this question. The diagram shows the trapezium ABCD, where A to B is this, D to C is this, and A to D is this. In A part, find the area of ABCD, giving your answer in the form of A plus B square root of 3, where A and B are integers. Okay, so area of a trapezium is area of trapezium is basically half sum of parallel sides and times height or length, we can say. This is the formula for area of a trapezium. So let me use this formula to get the area in this form. So we have area will be 1 by 2 sum of parallel sides. These two are parallel side. AB is parallel to DC. So we need to do the sum. 5 square root of 3 minus 3 add with 5 square root of 3 minus 1, and then times by length or height. This is square root of 3 plus 2. Right. So let me simplify it, and we have 1 by 2. 5 plus 5 is 10, square root of 3, and 3 minus 1 is minus 4, and we have square root of 3 plus 2. Okay, so from the first, let me take 2 common. We have 1 by 2, 2 is outside, 5 square root of 3 minus 2, and square root of 3 plus 2. 2 is cancelled with 2. And we have 5 square root of 3 times 3. So square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. So 5 times 3 is 15. This 5 times 2 is 10, square root of 3. This is minus 2 square root of 3. And this is minus 4. Right. And now from 15 subtract 4, it's 11. And from 3 take 10 take away 2 is 8 plus 8 square root of 3. So the answer is 11 plus 8 square root of 3, and the A value is 11 and the B value is 8, and these two are the integers. Now for part B, given that the angle BCD is theta radian. So where is BCD? We have BCD. This angle is theta radians. Okay. Find the value of cot theta in the form of C plus D square root of 3, where C and D are integers. Okay, we need to find cot of this theta. So if I can draw a straight line here, so it is a right angle triangle, right? And opposite sides are same. So if A to D is square root of 3 plus 2, so B to, let's say, this point is X, is also square root of 3 plus 2. Both sides are same. These two sides are also same, A to B and D to X. Okay. So if we have, how can we write this in this form? So we have 5 square root of 3 minus 1. So we can say 5 square root of 3 minus 3 plus 2 makes minus 1, and we need 5 square root of 3. This is 5 square root of 3, and so this is just 2. Right. Let me draw this separately, that is B, X and C. So it is a right angle triangle. Let's say this is D, the angle D is 90, this is B, this is C, theta radian, this is 2, and this side is square root of 3 plus 2. Okay, we need to find cot of theta, and cot is reciprocal of tangent, right? So cot theta is reciprocal of tangent. Tangent is opposite over adjacent, so cot is adjacent over opposite. Adjacent over opposite. Okay, so adjacent is 2 and the opposite is this. So we have 2 and the opposite side we have is square root of 3 plus 2. We need to write down in this form. So we need to multiply and divide with the conjugate of the denominator to simplify it. So from here cot theta will be 2 over square root of 3 plus 2 times square root of 3 minus 2 divide square root of 3 minus 2, right? Okay, so now we have 2 square root of 3 minus 2 times 2 is 4, and dividing by square root of 3 square is just 3, and this is 2 times 2, this is minus 4. So from here we have 2 square root of 3 minus 4 divides 3 minus 4 is minus 1. So cot theta is 4 minus 2 square root of 3. So 4 and minus 2 are the value for C and D, and these are the integers. Now for the C part, using your answer to part B, find the value of cosecant square theta in terms of E plus F square root of 3, where E and F are integers. So here we are going to use the identity, that is cosecant square theta is basically 1 plus cot square theta, right? So cosecant square theta will be 1 plus 4 minus 2 square root of 3 whole square, right? Let me open it square. 1 plus 2, 4 square is 16, and the square of this term is 2 square is 4, and 4 times 3 is 12. And now minus 2ab minus 2 times 4 times minus 2, sorry, that is 16, yeah, 2 times 4 times 2, negative of 16 square root of 3. So 1 plus 16 plus 12 is 29. So the answer is 29 minus 16 square root of 3. This is in terms of E plus F square root of 3. E and F are integers, that is 29 and minus 16. Question number 10. The diagram shows the figure A, B, C, D, E, F, G, where A, B and F, G and B, C, E, D, E are rectangles. So these are the rectangles of length x centimeter, and the width is x by 3 centimeter. Okay, so this is x, this is x, this is x by 3, this is also x by 3. Same, this side is x, x, this is x by 3, and this is x by 3. Right. The sector BEF, this sector of a circle center at B, radius x centimeter, so BE and BF is x centimeter, has an angle theta radian. It is given that the area of this sector is 2 centimeters. So we have given the information of area of a sector. Now in A part, show that the parameter p centimeter of the figure A, B, C, D, E, F, G is given by this. Okay, we can find the parameter by using this information, that area of a sector. So area of sector of a circle in terms of radian, its formula is half r square theta, right? So area of a sector is 2, and this is half, radius is x square, and theta is theta radian, right? We can find the value of theta from here, right? Because we need to find the theta radian. So 2 times 2 is 4 over x square is equals to the value for theta. So this theta is 4 by x square, right? Okay. So now we know the area, the value for theta, and for parameter is the sum of all sides. We know AB, BC, CD, DE. We don't know the side EF. We know FG and GA. So what is this side? We can find this side by using arc length. We need to find arc length of this sector. Okay, so using the formula for arc length, so arc length in terms of radian is S is equals to r theta, right? So the radius we know is x, and the theta we got is 4 by x square. So we can cancel x with x. We are just left with x 4 by x. So 4 by x is arc length. This EF is 4 by x, right? Now let me find the parameter. Parameter is sum of all side of that shape. So let me add. AB is x by 3, BC is x by 3. So we have x by 3 plus x by 3 plus C to D is x, D to E is x by 3. So we have x plus x by 3. And then we have EF. We got EF is equals to 4 by x plus FG and then GA, x by 3 plus x. X by 3 plus x, right? Okay, now let me simplify it. So we have x, 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 x. Okay, how many x we have? 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. We have 4 by 3 x and we have plus 2. So 10 by 3x and 4 by x. This is a parameter we got, and this is exactly the same, 10 by 3x plus 4x, 4 by x. Now for part B, given that x can vary, find the minimum value of p in the form of q square root of 30, where q is a rational number. Okay, so we need to find the minimum value. So keep in mind, whenever we need to find the minimum value or the maximum value, we need to find the gradient and put it equals to 0. So gradient is basically the derivative of that function, the first derivative, and put it equals to 0. We can find the values for x, or we can say the critical points. Okay, so the value for p is 10 by 3x plus 4 by x. P is equals to 10 by 3x plus 4 by x. Now the derivative of p with respect to x is 10 by 3, x derivative is 1 plus 4, and here its derivative is minus 1 by x square. Right, now we need to put that equals to 0 to find the maximum or the minimum, right? So let me find the x value. So from here, minus 4 over x square would be equals to minus 10 by 3. We can cancel the negative signs and doing the reciprocal. So x square by 4 equals to 3 by 10, and x square is equals to 3 by 10 times 4, right? And 3 times 4 is 12 by 10, and taking the square root, because the x would be equals to square root of 12 by 10. But we need to find in terms of x value in terms of q square root of 30. How can we make it square root of 30? So if we can say 12 by 10, 12 divides 10 is 6 by 5. So this is square root of 6 by 5. 6 times 5 is 30. Yes. So we can 6 times 5 multiply and dividing by 5 inside the square root, because 6 times 5 is 30 and 5 times 5 is 25. So the x value is 1 by 5 and square root of 30. And this 1 by 5 is a q value, that is a rational number. Now for C part, they said verify that P is minimum. How can we verify that it's minimum? So we need to use the condition that the second derivative of P with respect to X must be positive on that X value. So this is an X critical point. Then it is minimum, otherwise it is maximum. Let's see if it is maximum or not. Sorry, minimum. So how can you find the second derivative? The second derivative of this would be, the first derivative is 10 by 3x. So this is the first derivative, it would be 0. And its derivative is minus 4x power minus 2. So the first derivative, let me write down here. The first derivative is 10 by 3 and minus 4x power minus 2. So its derivative is 0. For second derivative, if we differentiate it twice. And here we have minus 4, where we have power base power minus 1, and 1. So we have plus 2 times 4 is 8 over x cube. Right. Now we need to put the x value that we got, this x value. So the second derivative at that critical point is 8 over x cube. So square root of 30 over 5 whole cube. So what is the answer? So we have, if I can do on the calculator, so square root of 30 divides 5, its cube, and then 8 divide answer. This is 6.085, or we can say 6.1, and this is positive. So it is positive, it means P is minimum. Question number 11. The tangent at the point where x equals to 1 on the curve intersect the y-axis at point P. This tangent also intersect the line x equals to 2 at the point Q. The line through P parallel to x-axis meet the line x equals to 2 at the point R. Find the exact area of the triangle PQR. Okay, so let me visualize this. Let me draw the coordinates first. Okay, so we have given this curve y equals to 6x ln x squared plus 1. So let me draw any curve on the axis. Let's say this is a curve. Okay, so let's say this is a curve for the function y equals to 6x ln x squared plus 1. Now they said the tangent at a point where x equals to 1 on the curve intersects the y-axis at point P. Okay, now it means at x equals to 1 we need to draw the tangent. Let's say x equals to 1 over here. This point x equals to 1. They said the tangent at a point where x is equals to 1 on the curve, this point is x equals to 1 on the curve, intersect the y-axis at point P. So if I can draw the tangent, this, it intersect the y-axis at point P. This is a point P. Right. Okay, now this tangent also intersect the line x equals to 2. So if I can draw the line x equals to 2, let's say this is a line x is equals to 2. This is x equals to 2 line. Here x point is 2. So they said this tangent also intersect the line x equals to 2 at a point Q. So this is point Q. Right. Okay, a line through P parallel to x-axis. This is x-axis. This the line that passes through P, it's much parallel to that x-axis. This is a parallel line. Meets the line x equals to 2 at point R. Okay, so this is a line at point R. This is a point R. Find the exact area of a triangle PQR. Okay. So first we need to find the equation of tangent. So this is a tangent PQ. We need to find the equation of tangent. We know that the equation of tangent is y minus y naught is equals to m into x minus x naught. Right, so it means for the equation of tangent we need a point and we need the gradient. M is the gradient. So first we need to find the gradient of this curve. So gradient is basically the derivative, so we need to find dy over dx at x is equals to 1. Right, so we have a function y equals to this, so it's a product rule we need to apply. So the first function as it is, the derivative of the second function is 1 over x squared plus 1 and its derivative is 2x, plus second function is as it is and the derivative of first function is just 6. Right, now we have 2 times 6 is 12 x squared over x squared plus 1 plus 6 ln x squared plus 1. Right, now this is a gradient. Now we need to find its gradient at x is equals to 1. So when x equals to 1 we have just 12 over 2 plus 6, we have ln 2. right? So 12 by 2 is equals to 6 plus 6 ln 2. So this is a gradient, and we need the point as well. So as we know, the point x is equals to 1. We need to find the point y. So x equals to 1, just put x equals to 1 into the curve, we can get the y. So y is equals to 6 times 1 plus, ln 1 plus 1. So the point y at x is equals to 1. So y is equals to 6 ln 2. Okay, now we have a gradient of a curve that is 6 plus 6 ln 2, and we have a point, let's say x naught, y naught, that is equals to 1 and 6 ln 2. Okay, now we can substitute these two things into the equation of tangent. We will get the equation of tangent, that is PQ. So equation of tangent, that is in our case that is the equation of line PQ, because PQ is a tangent, that is y minus y naught, that is 6 ln 2, is equals to 6 plus 6 ln 2 x minus x naught, or we can divide it, x minus x naught is 1, right? So this is equation of tangent, right? Okay, now we got the equation of tangent. That equation is basically the equation of line PQ. We need to find the coordinates for P and the coordinates for Q. Sorry students, I messed up here. They said the tangent at a point where x equals to 1 on the curve intersect the y-axis at point P. It not intersect the curve, it intersect the y-axis. This is the y-axis. This is a point P, and it's parallel to x-axis. The line meets. This is a point R. So you can ignore the bottom portion. Okay, now we need to find the coordinates for the point P, Q and R. So as we know that this tangent intersect y-axis at point P. When it intersect the y-axis, so at y-axis the x value is equals to 0. So putting x equals to 0, we will get y. So that's the coordinates for P. So for coordinates of P, so for coordinates of P, we need to put x equals to 0, because on y-axis x is equals to 0, and we need to put in this equation because PQ is this equation of tangent. When we put x equals to 0, we have y minus 6 ln 2 over minus 1 equals to 6 plus 6 ln 2. So y is minus 6 ln 2. This will be equals to negative 6 ln 2, right? So we can cancel negative 6 ln 2, negative 6 ln 2. So here y value is just minus 6. So the coordinates for point P, we got the point P is x is 0 and the y is minus 6, right? Okay, now we need to find the coordinates for Q. How can we find the Q coordinates? They said the tangent also intersect the line x is equals to 2 at the point Q. So means at this, the QX coordinate is 2. We need to find the Y coordinate, right? So we need to just substitute x equals to 2 into the equation of tangent to get the Y coordinates. So this is equation of tangent. Let me find the coordinates for Q. Coordinates for point Q. So for point Q, we need to sub x equals to 2 and finding the value for y. Okay, so we have y minus 6 ln 2, 2 minus 1 equals to 6 plus 6 ln 2. Okay, so 2 minus 1 is 1. So we have y minus 6 ln 2 equals to 6 plus 6 ln 2. So we have y is equals to 6 plus 6 ln 2, and then shifting this, it would be plus 6 ln 2. So the y value is 6 plus 12 ln 2. Right, so this is the coordinates for the point Q. So Q coordinates are, Q we can say is x is 2 and the y is 6 plus 12 ln 2. Okay, now we need to find the coordinates for R. The next point is coordinates for point R. Okay, so if we can see, ignore this bottom line. So this is our actual triangle PQR. So as you can see in the information, they said a line parallel to P, a line through P, it's parallel to x-axis, meets the line x equals to 2 at the point R. So for point R, the x value is 2 and it's parallel to P, this point P. So here the point P, x, y value is -6, right? So we got the y value for P is -6. So what are the coordinates for R? The coordinates for R we will get is x is 2 and the y is -6. Right, so we need to find the area for this triangle. Let me draw this triangle one more time. It's a right angle triangle PQR. So this is basically the triangle. This is point R, this is P, and this is Q. So P coordinates are 0, 6, 0, -6, sorry. This is 2 and -6. And the Q coordinates are 2 and 6 plus 2, 12 ln 2. Right. Okay, we need to find the area for this triangle, and we know that area of a right angle triangle is half base times height. So we can use the two methods to find the area. So let me say method 1. For method 1, we use the actual formula for area of triangle is half base times height. Right. So in this case, the area is half. What is the base? This is the base. PQ is a base. So this is from 0 to 2. So 2 minus 0 is 2. And what is the height? Height is basically dealing with the y coordinate. So here the y coordinate is 6 plus 12 ln 2, and here we have -6. So this point minus this point. So 6 plus 12 ln 2 minus -6, that would be 12 plus 12 ln 2. We can cancel the 2 and we are just left with 12 plus 12 ln 2. So this is the answer for area of the triangle PQR. Right. Now let me use a second method, the determinant method. You can use any method to find the area. Now for the second method, we can say half area is, we have a determinant. First we need to write the coordinates for P, that is 0 and -6. The coordinates of Q, that is 2 and 6 plus 12 ln 2. Coordinates for R, that is 2 and -6. And then again ending coordinates on of P, 0 and -6. Right? Okay, so we need to multiply these with this and with this. So this would be 1 by 2. 0 times this is 0. 2 times -6 is -12. And 2 times -6 is -12. Right? Minus. Now we are multiplying this. -6 times 2 is -12. Now with this 2. So 2 times 6 is plus 12 plus 24 ln 2. Right? And this would be equals to 0. Okay, now let me simplify it. So 1 by 2, here we have -24 minus, here we have plus 12, -12 is cancelled, it's just 24 ln 2. Okay, sorry, in this method we have -1/2 is outside. Okay, so let me take minus 1 by 2 and if we take negative 2 outside, 2 times 12 is 24 and 2 times 12 is 24. We can cancel the 2 and negative times negative is positive. So the area is 12 plus 12 ln 2. So you can see we got the same answers for the area by using both methods. You can use any method which you like. So that's the last question of our paper. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comment section. And thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care.